I took out my cell phone and I filmed what was happening. I explained the domestic violence incident that had occurred on my campus, and I talked about the rates of violence that occur on college campuses. What followed is the change that TikTok can inspire. In less than 48 hours, that video had over 10 million views. 10 million. And that was just on social media.
That is Kira Span, also known as Famous Blonde on TikTok. She's got 260,000 followers, and she sparked reform on her college campus and others by using TikTok to bring awareness to sexual assault, domestic violence, and politics. She could lose her platform because of this new law that requires TikTok to divest or face a potential ban in the U.S. So she, along with several other content creators, are suing the United States government. The new law has been contentious since the beginning, nearly 2 weeks after President Biden signed the bill into law. TikTok filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government saying the law violates the First Amendment. Right now, if TikTok doesn't divest or sell, it could be banned as early as January of 2025. TikTok creator Kira Span is with us now. Again, she's one of the 8 plaintiffs in this lawsuit. Kira, thank you. As I mentioned, you've got 260,000. Excuse me, my producer's saying something to me. 760,000 followers. I want to make sure we get that right. Why do you believe your free speech is being violated?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me on this morning. Majorly, TikTok is not just a place to express free speech. It's not just a place for me to share information, but it's also a place where people go to access information. During the election, one of the reasons I started my platform was because I was a political science student, and I realized the information I was getting in school was far less biased than a lot of the other misinformation people were getting on platforms. And I wanted to be able to share that information with the public and educate people so they were informed while they were voting. Taking a platform away that educates 170 million Americans is a huge infringement upon the First Amendment and free speech, not just for sharing information, but being able to consume information as well.
How about TikTok, Kira? Have they responded to the lawsuit?
So TikTok is actually backing our lawsuit. They're paying our legal fees. We're not being paid at all. They're just they're paying for our legal fees. And I'm very thankful for that because I would not be able to afford to be paying a legal suit that's this large on my own.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal and it's getting a lot of attention. And so is TikTok. I mean, this is a community for many people. Tell me about what that means to you.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that I advocate for is survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence. That's one of the things that you showed that one TikTok video. When I was in college, there was a very brutal domestic violence incident that occurred on my college campus, and I'd used TikTok to put a spotlight on it on the nation, and my college had swept it under the rug. And because of TikTok, I was able to make huge reforms in my community. The survivor was able to get justice for her incident, and now we're using TikTok to amplify that across the nation and help make changes. So TikTok is a major place of community. Survivors come from all over the world onto my page. I often call my comment sections mini Me Too movements because so many people are able to find each other and find solace in each other and share their stories. It's just not something that's able to be recreated on other platforms.
In your videos, you have said that the community that you're talking about and that you've built cannot be replicated on another platform. We're in an age of technology where things are constantly evolving. Do you really think that there's not another space for something like TikTok if it were to go away?
Well, I really hope that something else would appear if that would happen, but right now I don't think there's a space. And one of the biggest reasons why is because so many other social media platforms censor political content heavily. For example, Meta, they just released an update back in February where they started automatically censoring political content. For me, who posts educational content and content about sexual assault and domestic violence, my videos that I post on TikTok and on Instagram, the same video, they don't get the same reach. A video I post on TikTok will get 1 million views. The same video on Instagram will only get 5,000. So the same community I have on TikTok isn't able to find the content on Instagram. It's just not the same level of community. It's not the same level of reach or the same timely response. It's not the same, unfortunately. I wish it was.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.